this video, I want to discuss what every copywriter should know about editing. Now, copywriting, like any other type of writing, requires revision. There is no writer that can say what he wants to say in the most succinct way the very first time. Even when the sales letter may be passed on to a final editor, the copywriter should still do a final review before the copy is placed into circulation. Now, here are some important pointers that will help you make the best of this editing stage. Number one, you should place the copy aside for a couple of days so you can return to it with fresh eyes. You see, when you are temporarily close to your writing, your brain gets so accustomed to what you have written that it is hard to see your errors. Many writers refer to this as the cooling off period. This doesn't mean that you do nothing, but you may start working on a new project, or better still, do something completely different like playing a musical instrument. You see, the most important thing is that you forget the copy so that you can see your writing with fresh eyes. And one trick I like to use is to place the copy in a different physical form. So if you write by hand, then you read the copy after it is typewritten. Or if you use your computer, then you convert the copy to a different font or print it out first. Just this physical change would make the copy appear new to your brain. Number two, you should read the copy for the major problems first and then go for the smaller problems like grammar and misspellings later on. So pay attention to the flow of the copy, the structure, the logical pattern of ideas and such forest views before trimming the trees. And while you are trimming, remember to save the deleted portions because you never know if you'll need them later. Number three, completely rewrite unclear and troublesome parts. Sometimes you have to simply start from scratch when you realize that a section of the sales letter just doesn't read right. Getting hung up on just changing a few sentences and hoping that you'll avoid having to rewrite can be equated to leaving a cancerous polyp, hoping that it will disappear without treatment. Some sections of your letter may require drastic surgery rather than cosmetic treatment, so go for it. Number four, read the copy from beginning to end in one sitting. When you read the copy in this way, it's easier to spot any disconnect, redundancies, and imbalances. A mason first lays out a line to make sure that each brick is in place. He doesn't need to line the brick after they are laid, but as a copywriter, while having a line in mind for the sales letter, you must cite the completed letter to ensure everything lines up. Number five, after making a correction, we read for meaning. Often a simple deletion or change in one part of a sentence can cripple the meaning of the sentence or paragraph. Rather than making a correction at the end and moving on to the next sentence, you will read the sentences and even the complete paragraph to ensure that it still flows after the changes are made. 6. Give your letter to a prospect to read. If you can find someone in your target market to read the copy and let her tell you what she thinks, then you're more likely to get an unbiased opinion than asking someone close to you. It was legendary copywriter Vic Schwab who wrote that 3 of the most expensive words in advertising are "perhaps my wife says." Number 7. Work with a graphic artist to help determine the final layout. This is a critical stage because the physical layout of the graphics used in a sales letter can either hurt or enhance the persuasive appeal of your copy. Think about your readability elements that help your letter get read, such as the paragraph length, the bullet points, the headlines, the color, the font, the choice of background of color, and so forth. There are no perfect standards for copywriting, so changes will always be needed as far as the copywriter is concerned. So waiting for perfection and trapping your sales letter in the paralysis of analysis prison wouldn't help either. Every writer has to get accustomed to their best, knowing that there are no perfect sales letters. Then you just need to give it your best shot.